Hi, scholars. I wanted to do another quick video with you today. Finishing up geometry. We have a couple more videos, so we will do this one, part 2, and a part 3. I'll start off by trying to see if you guys remember how we talked about the angles. See if you can remember how to identify your 3 main angles in geometry. So we have our little angle. Remember we said, oh, it's so cute. Okay. And our common symbolism that we use. Okay, that's our acute. Just a quick reminder, quick review. Okay. We have the L shape, remember? Has the box symbolism there. We said it was always 90 degrees. Okay, that is our right angle. Okay. And then we have that angle that has the big gap, and it's our big angle. Starts with the O, because we said a hint could be that because it starts with the O, we could remember it by saying over large. Over large, this is our obtuse angle. So don't forget those, scholars, okay? And then I said I wanted to kind of go through some of the math sheets with you that you would use the geometry on, just so you can see. Just like we would do in class, do some of it together. We talked about the shapes and what sides are on a shape, and corners are also also known as the vertexes. And we talked about the names of some of the shapes and that kind of stuff. So in a good spot. I just kind of want to show you building on that, because you will use that in different word problems. Let me make sure that you guys can see this. Sometimes it's hard to see. Okay. I want to make sure you can see it. So sometimes, just let me focus that. Okay, let me double check the screen and make sure that you can see that. I also want to try one more thing. Yeah, there you go. Okay. I want to try maybe this light too to see if that helps. So let me check the screen again. Awesome. Okay. So again, we talked about the sides and the angles. So sometimes, you'll see work where they'll have you, scholars, they'll have you count the sides and the angles. So here you see I put lines where the sides are, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. So I was able to put in the problem 4 sides, 4 angles. Okay. And the same thing I did here. I counted the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I counted the angles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I wrote that. So you'll have problems like that, scholars. You'll have problems where you use, and we talked about this a little in that last video, you can classify shapes by how many sides or angles or corners or something that they have. So here, this math worksheet is having you classify shapes and put them in shape categories. So pentagons are shapes that have 5 sides, angles, and then they have the triangles with their different amount of, I think it's 3. Yeah, 3. You have your 3 sides, and your quadrilaterals, your 4, and then your hexagons are 6. Okay, so I did some here. This one ended up being a quadrilateral because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and it has the 3, 4 angles where it have the little arches showing the angles. Okay, so you'll have work like that. Here's one, we can do one of these that aren't done. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, and 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. Okay. So it will be penta because of the sides. Okay. So we'll have some stuff like that. the parallel lines. Let me double check. Parallel lines. We talked about that in the last video, and I don't want you to forget, scholars, I used the parking example. So those lines that go straight, have space in between, they never cross, they're not connected. And if they keep going in that same direction on that straight path, sometimes they're slanted, but they're going in that forward straight path, don't cross, they'll never cross if they continue that path. Okay, so those are your parallel lines. And on some of the problems, I circled one here. This one, the line is shorter than the other parallel line, but it's still parallel. Okay, they're going in that straight forward path, and if they keep going on that path, they'll never cross. So sometimes they'll have you point out shapes that have parallel lines, or point to the parallel lines, or label them, or stuff like that. Okay, so there's that. They may have you draw, they may give you the name of the shape or category of the shape instead of giving you the shape, and then have you draw it yourself. Okay, so you'll use what you know about how many sides and angles in that specific category of that shape, and then you'll draw that shape. Okay, so for a hexagon, I know it has 6 sides, 6 angles. So, you'll have to draw some of the shapes as well, scholars, using what you know about the sides and angles. I just kind of wanted to show you that because I wanted to do some with you. And then the thing I did not show you was the cubes. Cubes. You guys, we've used Rubik cubes before, so you've probably seen the cubes. But just know, and teacher doesn't remember how to draw a cube. I know they kind of, in school, they said if you draw like certain amount of lines or something that, that you'd be able to draw a cube. So something like that, scholars. But you just need to know the name of this shape and that it's 3-dimensional and not 2-dimensional like the other common shapes, the triangles and squares and rectangles. Okay? And then you'll be able to see that this shape has faces. It has those flat faces, surfaces, it has sides and lines too, and it also has angles. And so in the next video, we are going to get to explore maybe putting some of those shapes into sections so you guys can get into your introduction to fractions. So have a wonderful weekend, scholars, and thank you so much for being awesome and positive and helpful. See you later next time. Bye.